So maybe just come declare yourself again. I make them understand. See? Lonesome, but Manley Heights, no apology. Like Garvey Heights, yeah, Garvey Heights said speed. Manley Heights said speed. See, Martin Luther King Heights said speed. See? So, Garvey and Manley, I mean that, no apology. Good. No Jamaica. There was a politician, me never look on them. No. See? And man did not part to lose its thing to, because, bribe with corruption and all kind of foolishness. And, we know that, you're born all these things. But when I serious note, on the younger man that will look out for the people them. And come with reform. Serious reforms. And you have some people who do research, them just want to talk on them attack because they love politics. So even if you're PMP, you're GLP, you're no P, if you know the real truth, and everything documented and there, And about propaganda, like how some man want to conspect propaganda, can't bring it no more. Because everything where they matter about, I put out there. So we just come chat the truth with what? No apology. But I play some man right now, because that then can't stop, No. I mean, I see no politician where I do this, right? No, I just pay foolishness when I'm in any Margan house. It turn any Margan house, by the way. See? It turn any Margan house, man. And you have to talk the truth. Yeah, man, you have to talk the truth about the thing, them, Yeah, man, bless up, Beverly. Big up yourself. Any Margan house. So I want some reforms and things. I want some, when politicians, when you have government, each government go across and go in out and put in things to stand up for the people, them, for the people. I work for the people, and I work against the people then. You understand? They work against the people. And then them bring for them kind of propaganda want to spread it. And we not do that with them. You see me I say? Yeah, man. You see me I say? Yeah, man. So we just start with yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Straight up, You understand? Yeah, man. Straight up. No apologies. None at all. See? So we just keep it this and keep it real. You understand? If you go into politics and you want to serve, you got to serve for uplift the country. You push the country in a behind precipice. And then come talk, say you do this and show road. And promise people road and water. No, that now make no change. I want some reforms to make changes. You understand? For uplift the life of the people them in Jamaica. Maybe just took one with Bandy or something. I'm going to play some things and I relax my brain. I'm going to some other things. So the first thing I hear Farrakhan I say so, and then I play Mandy. No, play Mandy first, and then I play the Farrakhan. And then I play some serious thing, yeah? Me hear this.
Is very, very fundamental to us. It's a non-negotiable item on our agenda. We start from certain positions of principle. 1. Cuba is our nearest neighbor. 2. Cuba is a member of the third world like us. 3. Cuba fights at our side for changes in the world economic system. 4. We find Cuba the most principled country to deal with. They operate on a basis of respect for sovereignty and non-interference in other people's internal affairs. They have an internationalist policy that if you say to them, come and be my friend, we think you have certain skills that are interesting. We think you've done certain things that are interesting. We would like to have a look at what you've done. Would you like to cooperate with us in a field? They say, fine. If you don't want to cooperate, they say, fine. We have long since understood that they are on a particular path of development that is obviously massively supported by their people and which is a product of their objective circumstances. Their revolution arose out of the horrors of one of the worst tyrannies the world had ever known. And a lot of their experience is conditioned by that fact. We are a totally different thing. We had a different kind of society, different traditions. We had a functioning plural democracy. And we're on what we call our democratic socialist path of development, which has certain points of similarity with theirs, but very substantial points of difference with theirs, and we respect each other. But even more important than all of that, and this is what is non-negotiable to us, Cuba is a legitimate part of the world and this hemisphere. And it has one of the most legitimate governments in the world, because legitimacy is a function of popular support and nothing else. Nothing else legitimizes except people. And no country, in our view, no country has the right to impose sanctions upon Cuba or any other country that has legitimacy.
At that, bother some country. Yeah? So when them spread where them want to spread at these things by other country, you have a little small man in a third world country, talk up to them these kind of way. And in reality, talk the truth, might not be it right.
To us, therefore, it is non-negotiable that Cuba must be accepted as a full, free, and untrammeled member of the world community and the hemispheric community. And if that is not so, we can't make it so. I don't say this in arrogance. I'm talking about what we stand for, not what we can make happen. But what we stand for, we will not move over, and we'll pay any price for. And, you know, looking at it from a practical point of view, you could say this. If you can do that to Cuba, because somebody doesn't like the Cuban Revolution, then how do I know that you don't do that to me tomorrow?
You're right.
You don't like something that I do.
You're right.
Would you say then that this is a reason why you are dissatisfied with the absence of sanctions against South Africa while there are sanctions against Cuba?
It does not. Well, I'm not an easy person to embitter, but that makes me as near to bitter as anything in the contemporary world. It's something that I said in Maputo, actually, at a conference.
More you just hear what I'm saying. Them sanction Cuba and put it in our head from where I grew. Cuba evil and everything, but South Africa, where them that kill off our black people, them. Yeah, with apartheid, them no sanction apart, them no sanction them. But a Cuba, them sanction. These are the things enough people no look through. You think we're idiot?
To which I was invited this year, that it really is a tragic commentary on human values in the world. That there are still sanctions against this really very brave and brilliant social and human experiment which is taking place in Cuba. Even if you don't agree with the methodology, it's a remarkable experiment. And you can leave sanctions against that country and apply not one sanction. Well, they're now talking about an arms embargo, but not one economic sanction against the ultimate leper of the international community, South Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even that. This man have to say this. This man have to say this.
Even down in Jamaica, I'm skipping, they tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Micheal Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Micheal Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
People don't know them history, man.
Jamaica, I'm skipping. They tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Micheal Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Micheal Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
Oh, play some things right now. So these are the things. I'll play some things now and show you the farm and what may I tell them. So we just stop with the principle. Micheal Manley party last them way right now is doing. I'm a joke I'm making. Them last them way to man. See? Yeah, man. Now it mash up the country, you know? Both parties, yeah, man. See? But that man with a vision like this, I make enough things happen. January, I'm supposed to turn in my grave. You understand? We don't see nobody else. I don't see nobody else. You can believe through this, you know? Because you have no cure, you hear them talk and thing, and if you talk to them on a serious level, they may tell you just two party thing, but you see when they come with me go university, you know, through the free education, go straight to university, through him put in this, through him do that, through him do this, and then come with farms again. Be a shit. And nobody now tell them. See? Me not listen to them. Them can't uplift me. When me see them pan them platform, I chat a bag of crap at them about water and road, and I chat some bag of foolishness. I'm going to just carry on. Them not come with something for make out for the people them. A matter of fact, them take back the land from the people them. A man they take it from rich people and hand it down to the farmers and to poor people. Them take it back and give it back to rich people. And who not do it, you have member of parliament or some so-called past member of parliament. Take land. Thousands of acres. The one of them grab on pan. You understand that them are things that them are there forever. And them are live for nearly 1,000 years, you know. Like them are think them are the third Reich. So them are gonna live maybe it's not for 1,000 years and them not gonna leave off of this earth. So you rather people suffer. Nah work for my man. Foolishness. So let me just play the budget first and then we go into some of the little things now. I could play the budget, you know. Yeah, I run at 73 budget, you know. After the 72 thing, let me play it now. Yeah? Yeah, let me play this.
Starting national service in Jamaica.
So I play the budget debate in 73 and just hear some of the things them where you hear, you know, coming from 72 and thing and what more them I put on stream and everything. This is when I listen. And this is when you have parliament. Parliament change. I just pay them I tell about this and that and about people and drive and one bag of foolishness and be a crap. You understand? Yeah, man. You hear that? Man that talk on an international level. That's what we not see them do. Yeah? Go on, listen.
We feel the great need is in education. We're going to call for the young people to give us a period of time when they get back into the primary system to teach before they move on out in their careers. Once a child reaches 16 or 17, if they say fail their O-level exam, we will then ask them to give 2 years, to volunteer for 2 years, to come in and teach in the primary schools while we look after them, which will also give them a chance to try again for their exam, in which case they might then be able to take advantage of it to move on further. If the child passes the O-level and wants to move on to A-level or some kind of technical training, the child will go, but we will ask it to carry the obligation of service. And if it goes right to the end of the university system, so be it. But even at that time, we're going to say, come and teach certain subjects in the technical schools, come and teach subjects even for 2 years in the primary schools, create a revolution in the knowledge of the people by putting our skills that we've got through our secondary system cycled back into the training of more skills so as to bring the light of knowledge and freedom to the people that are being born and growing up in the system.
What about the people them like this? To push the education system. So we want plans and things and then put in things in place. So you know, see the enemy organize one like this, can bear things and people are thief this and all kind of things, and then things that talk about fight this and fight crime and nothing like this. You know, you're not budget thing like this, none at all. I just hand out and put it on some little things and be a foolishness. No.
I think it's the most exciting challenge and opportunity for Jamaica since independence. Something to stir the fire of nationalism and patriotism in your heart, Mr. Speaker. The National Service will be asked to give 2 years, mainly in teaching, but also, if people prefer, perhaps, the literacy program, they can help the youth development program, the youth camps that are coming on stream later this year, the new type of youth development. There are all sorts of ways in which they can help look back into their country, so that instead of drowning through the lack of resources to create training, we use our own resources that say, let me give back something to the country that gave me both birth and the life opportunity of higher education. Because of all this planning, sir, I'm very pleased to be able to announce something more about education. At the present time, about 2,500 children in each age group move through into the secondary system, and then some into the comprehensive, the technicals, etc. Because of plans already laid, 9,000 of those children will be able, by next year, September, to move into expanded technical schools and expanded secondary schools. That still leaves another 10,000 of junior secondaries with nowhere to go right now. Because of the call for the volunteers and the getting of the secondary schools to give back the training in the system, we are going to be able to revolutionize the quality of the primary education, because as a well-educated youngster that is going in, we're going to be able to release the best teachers to move up the system and strengthen the system inside the junior secondary. And by the introduction of the SHIP system next year, among the 19,000 junior secondaries, 9 of whom will go on into secondary, but 10 of whom will remain, we will be able to give 2 years further training and lift the age of the junior secondary schools from 15 to the age of 17.
So junior secondary lift from 15 and go to 17. Now listen to what I think. It's so year 1 the ball changes what we are talking about. Eh?
What we're going to do with the 10,000 is to create training in the junior secondaries that is particularly orientated to the needs of the economy. Therefore, that 2 years of extra training in the junior secondary for the other 10,000 will have a heavy vocational bias, strong on work attitudes, concepts of work discipline, and the creation of skills that will be particularly identified by industry as the things of which they are short. We want to see this country can take one thing and lift it out of the quagmire of politics and let it be like a beacon summoning the nation to the solution of its own problems through self-reliance. I'll come back now, Mr. Speaker, to where I began, which was the problem of an age group marching forward. You have, say, 50,000 children of 15, all with their anxious parents behind them. Of the 50,000 children roughly of that age next year, instead of 9,000 with a hope and 41 to face a blank wall, at one stroke we will have lifted it to 28,000 children who will be receiving further training of one sort or another. More than 3 times in one stroke. And the key is national service. The putting back to the nation of what is gained from the privilege of education. When we talk of taxes, I say to the people, I know it is hard. I know it reminds me, I hear all the jokes on fine, the better the richer, and that's all what makes life worth living. But let me remind everybody so that, it's a very funny thing about life, Mr. Speaker. Many a man has died of an illness because there was not a doctor to prescribe one dose of medicine. And many a man lives in the world today, Mr. Speaker, because there was a doctor that had the courage to say, draw one draught of the medicine, it will taste bad, it will be bitter, but it is the thing that will release you to the better that must come. And therefore, I say, I know the taxes are high. But I say to a person, when you're thinking of your bet, and I hope you win it, wherever you are, whoever you are, think that that is helping to start the revolution again in education, to lift it yet again from where the torch bearers of the past have brought it up to now. If you're drawing on a cigarette, think that it is helping, that either it was going to stay down, or the condensed milk go up, or we couldn't start this great new initiative in education, we couldn't give the chance, we couldn't let the mothers see the whole light of hope dawn for the children of the next generation. Something had to pay. And rather than creep along like before, we said, let us be bold now. Let us be brave now. Let us take time and invest in it before that, now, so that we can set tomorrow's generation free. When a person buying a car, sure, it had 76% tax before, so now it has 25% more. It's not because they want people to have cars. But something has to pay. And maybe somebody buying a $4,000 car, which already has 75% tax on it, maybe, or something around there. And there's another 25%, not as much as was there before. Let them think that maybe that money will be supplying perhaps 2 jobs for 2 people that have never had a job in their lives. And ask yourself, do you love your country enough for that to be worthwhile?
Love your country enough.
And I say, sir, you talk of change. What is change? Change, sir, is the willingness to look at your system and have the courage to know what is wrong. More is not change. Change is to reorder the values of your life. Change is to have a vision of a new hope for a society. Change is to have the courage to invest something now in sacrifice, so that tomorrow's people may be free. Change is a matter of a vision of justice. And the talk of change, was there change? Let us speak of change. Labor Day was change.
Labor Day.
Began to feel self-reliance. The People's Food Complex that is coming is change, because it will bring relief. That is change. Operation Grow is change. The resource system is there for change. The integrity legislation is change. The literacy program is change. The recognition of women's rights is change. The 40-hour work week for government workers is change. The Workers' Bank that is coming is change. The creation of equal status for all children in Jamaica is change. The law to prevent non-Jamaicans owning our land is change.
You better please tell non-Jamaican owning more land. We want the part there. The law prevent non-Jamaican owning the land. And them own the land now. Yeah? Change them, take it back. It's the Chinese and the world of them own the land. You did the law prevent them from owning it. Them reverse these things. So our people suffer now.
The creation of equal status for all children in Jamaica is change. The law to prevent non-Jamaicans owning our land is change. The 18-year-old vote is change. Free education for the people is change. National service where we put back is change. These are the means by which we shall achieve power for the people and freedom in our time. These are the means by which the power will come to the people. Sacrifice now for a great day tomorrow, where we will march together in the name of work, in the name of justice, because the word is love.
We don't get them word of love and them thing they again, and them they cut out. When you hear any man knows a cuss, them cuss each other. And a business about the people, them. And a business about them. That's a pirate house now. Both sides last them way. And I like them a come and you know, a side a go in and say, okay, we're gonna do this and put back the change. I'm following a world we learn. Them take it from under the people, them foot. Them everything where they put in a place, them remove it. Saying none of them can point out these things what them do. Even the housing trust, I am carried in. So the whole of them not point out nothing. You have to have visionary for move a country forward. Yeah? Them did want to assassinate him because what? Him talk about, you know, self-reliance and nobody with Cuba and talk about the ultimate leper. When South Africa went to kill out our whole black people, them and them thing then. See, them not bring no embargo upon them and nothing at all. But them that say, yeah. One Cuba account because they want Baptiste. And Uncle Baptiste mash up Castle them and Castle them go fling him away. Fling them out of power. So them just hold them pan that from long time. You know the history of the thing, you know. See? And when you talk, no, you're not creep on your knee, no, them want to use a power over you. And then bring in all kind of foolishness about that man, yeah. And the hungry man stand for Jamaica. Yeah? And that's not joke.
Sunday, September 19, 1976, a never-to-be-forgotten day in Jamaica's history. As the sun blazed down on the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, tens of thousands of people came together in unity and love to pledge their solidarity with the People's National Party and democratic socialism. They came from remote villages. They came from towns. They came from the city. Snow cone vendors, teachers, impact workers, doctors, lawyers, small farmers, factory workers came to take part in the public session of the 38th Annual Conference of the People's National Party. The historic session was planned for the National Arena. From the night before, comrades began arriving in buses and trucks. Many set up makeshift beds outside the arena, and in the wee small hours of the morning, coal pots were aglow as camping comrades prepared an early breakfast. Long before starting time, the arena was full and overflowing. PNP River had come down from bank to bank. And when the gathering of comrades overflowed outside the arena and...
So, this, them to come down, bam, bam, let's try it more and see what we do. See, this, them time and them that have, you know, people and them politics, you know, I find them thing and people asleep night before and cooking in the morning and them, you know, I find them thing again, man. I'll be a pirate. Both parties.
Moved as one to the strains of old party songs. It was a day of rejoicing. It was a day of comradeship. It was the fourth day of the most successful party conference Jamaica had ever seen. Many comrades and friends representing our brothers and sisters of the progressive world came to share in the glory of the socialist movement. They brought messages of inspiration and solidarity. They left full of hope for Jamaica's future. The National Stadium became alive with singing and cheering as comrades hailed the comrade leader of the People's National Party, the Honorable Micheal Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And he spoke as he never spoke before. His was the voice of the people, expressing our struggles and our hopes for the future. Hearts were full as 40,000 comrades rededicated themselves to the building of democratic socialism. We were one with our leader as we pledged that we were not for sale, and as we said with great meaning, we know where we are going.
Alright, so I'm gonna pass the song them. See? Yeah. So pass the song them. So you have so much people come all over the place. Yeah, I want to pass that, you know? Pass that. Can you imagine back in them time, yeah? People leave from overseas all about and stay all outside and bleach and cook and do everything before a conference or something like this.
The comrade leader of the People's National Party, the Honorable Micheal Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
We are struggling to build something new. And we may suffer while we struggle. But the suffering that you endure when you struggle is worth enduring. Because you know what you are fighting to build, and because you know where you are going, and we know where we are going.
We don't hear them word again, but we're not for sale. Them sell out, you know, so we don't have no plane or nothing, we don't have no plane, we don't have no train, we don't have no ferry. Them sell everything. We are not for sale. Now, everything them sell out and angry like we're refugees in our own country. You know, see how we're going.
And I want to thank you.
We are slaves back in our country now. Everything sell out.
Because always I believe that the masses have the faith, they have the courage. All they need is the organization and the leadership and the dedication to the building of a new world. And I thank you, the masses of Jamaica, because every time that we, the leadership, have felt doubt, we have turned to you, and you have given us the courage to move forward and to fight on. God bless you, the people of this country. This conference has had a profound impact on everybody who has lived through it. And I want to give thanks on your behalf to all the delegates momentous time in Jamaica's history. And we ask that they all take back our greetings and our thanks, and to tell their colleagues at home that we know that they came to Jamaica because the world knows that Jamaica is at a moment of destiny. We are at a moment of destiny, comrades. We are at a moment of destiny. We have watched the forces at work. And when they hear of your presence here today, oh, what a weeping and a wailing.
Because the forces when I talk, we don't know the forces. And in reality, I want to say the CIA them come out and one of them come out with the thing. We don't spread propaganda. We cannot care what you do, you know. History, it a go show, it a go come out, and it a go show what go on and when not go on. You understand? You have some country where you bow to them and you not bow to them, and then them come up with the arms out. So you must mingle in a people affairs.
There are certain places in the world today that when they hear of how you came in your thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and tens of thousands to stand for socialism, there will be a weeping and a wailing.
International, them never want to see this.
Comrades, today, I do not need to make a speech. You have made the speech for me. Comrades, before I say my few words, because in this atmosphere, I cannot give the speech that I planned. I had planned a major speech, but I do not believe you can hear a major speech today. You must tell me. I don't know if you can take it in the sun. I don't know if you can listen and concentrate. But I will be guided by your judgment. And if you say speak, Joshua will speak.
The Comrade leader described the conditions which existed in Jamaica during the first 10 years of independence.
Bauxite industry was booming in the world. International capitalism was going through one of its periods of prosperity and expansion. We had just become independent, and our rulers had the opportunity to address themselves to the suffering of their land in the middle of the most favorable conditions the world had ever known. And what did they do with those years? At the end of the time, unemployment had doubled. For every one human being that had no work in 1962, there were two that were suffering by 1972. Out of every 10 young people that were looking for training and education beyond the age of 15, 8 out of 10 had to look at the blank wall of poverty. Only 2 could get any training.
Can you imagine? And this from then and they had come and change something. You know, here in a Henry Morgan house, nothing like them things. They talk about no youth and suffering and nothing at all. Don't talk about fight crime. And then tell about hotel. And tell about fixed road and about water when they run things. And then grab up pay money. Me know,
There were 450,000 small farmers who had nothing but hillside rockstone to scratch.
Yeah, that farmers, listen.
Our bauxite was being mined out of our country like dirt for a pittance. There had been a government in power for 10 years that dared to call itself Labour. And in 10 years, they had never passed one serious piece of legislation to protect the rights of so much as one worker in Jamaica.
Legislation, protect the workers.
Women would work their hearts out beside men and draw less pay.
Him change that. Woman.
When children were born, most of them were called illegitimate
because you know
and had no real rights in law.
No rights. We'll give them that.
The land was riding under the lash of victimization.
True. Oh.
Corruption was everywhere in the nation. And there was no Jamaican to be found anywhere who could have pride to say, I am a Jamaican. The country was bankrupt spiritually, bankrupt morally, and in the years, those who had been wealthy had grown more wealthy. Those who had been privileged had grown more privileged. Those who were poor had grown poorer. And those who had no right had sunk deeper into despair. And the people of Jamaica looked at that and they said, no more, no way. And those are the people that now want to come back. No way. No way. And comrades, the reason why we were in that condition, because we, the Jamaican people, were trapped. We were trapped in a world system that we call imperialism, and we were trapped in a local system that we call capitalism. And we set about in 1972 with your mandate for change. But we realized that there could be no change in this country unless we were prepared to change the system. Unless we were prepared to join the international struggle against imperialism. And unless we were prepared to reorganize Jamaica to replace the capitalist system with a socialist system.
Yeah, man. This me I talk about, you know. I finish listening up, man, because of them I talk about. Me not see none of them, both sides, them nothing about people right now. None at all. None whatsoever. Me don't want to hear what them are saying, you know. Them not come with nothing for really uplift Jamaica. Now we depend on everything, we import everything. That's self-reliance and nothing again. Not for talk back to the international but and say, yeah, we don't depend on this, we want to do this, we want to export, we want to do nothing of the left away. All them do is send and kill out the youth them. Yeah man, turn them against each other and do pure foolishness. You understand? Well, me see this happening. Me see this happening. Let me pass. Alright, miss this.
The Conrad leader then analyzed the capitalist system.
Capitalism is a system that works by certain laws. And when I talk of capitalism, I am not talking about the hearts of men. There are good men and bad men in any system. There are good sons and not so good sons in any family.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about a system.
Yeah, system.
The system of capitalism is based on an economic arrangement in which the surplus of wealth that is made out of production is held by the private hands that own the productive machine. And only those hands decide what to do with that surplus. And if the hands happen to be good hands, they will divide some. If those who work and are exploited by the process, if they are militant in a trade union, they will fight and get some. But the system is designed to keep the surplus that makes the wealth in the hands that own the productive machine. And when we talk of imperialism, we're talking of international capitalism and the way it works. And if we look at our country, when you talk of how a few get richer and richer, and the many get poorer and poorer, it does not happen because of the heart of men. It doesn't happen because men are good men or bad men. It happens because that is the only way the system can work. And when you look at our sugar, and how over the years we cannot get a price for it, and over the years our wealth is pouring out to buy heavy equipment as the small nations are exploited by the rich and the powerful. It is not because the people of the big nations are bad people or good people. It is because the system is bad. And we are dedicated with God's help in this small country, in our small way, to look at that system outside of imperialism and to play our fight, to defeat it, to change it, and one day to replace it with a new system that we call the new international economic order.
I that them now I hear. So you know the leader right now talk about for challenge them big boy and challenge Duck Natal. You know, hear that. That them now I hear.
And that is why we are a part of the trade union of the poor. That is why our struggle is an international struggle. Inside Jamaica. We are also determined to replace and change and remove the system of capitalism and replace it by building brick upon brick, step by step.
You never hear them talk brick by brick. Build up brick upon brick. Yeah. When I tell you for build it.
New system of democratic socialism.
You now hear that again, man.
My friends, what have we done along that path, and what effect has it had? Because make no mistake, the reason why we are struggling now, the reason why we are suffering what we are suffering now, is because there are forces in the world and inside Jamaica that want to turn us back. And why do they want to turn us back? Not because we are who we are, not because I am Micheal Manley, not because my colleagues are who they are, but because they know that we are determined to change that system. And there is a clique of people who are the beneficiaries of that system.
All right.
And some of them, not all, some of them are determined to preserve the system.
I got them though.
But we shall overcome. We shall overcome. And let us look at what has happened along the road of the struggle to build socialism. And then let us look at what it is that the clique is angry about and why they fight us.
Why them fight us?
Let us look.
You notice him talk on an international level in a metaphors and everything, and you understand clearly and you see it and you can go and you get a documentary and things. Stop that thing there were people. But man did it. Man did not do nothing. Man they rise up the system. Them take over the land, them do everything, and rich people want it back. We them just strong go behind zinc fence, nothing. The crash program thing, where you could get a NHT or second do it again, and them big friend. I get it. And the man just set it for help people and build houses to them and do one. You show less, you have less, but you first I get one of the house them. We have more, you can go buy it. And you have land, my farm, you have all kind of things, you know, we have the AMC, we have all kind of things. The whole of that crash. We're playing everything gone. Everything gone. So if you look on these people and see the country move forward. Remember, you know, me there when the whole of them things are going, you know. Zane, so not like somebody tell me live through it. That's why I'm born them. Me not see none of them. Both me not see them not say nothing like this. That is the end of my house. Them can't give me a chat.
Some of the things that we have done. I start with a special employment program.
Yeah, special employment.
Special employment program. This program has given thousands of mothers the opportunity to protect their families for the first time in history.
Well, if we go look up these things, man. That's why I ask them what initiative them come with, what them do. They must say, them don't do nothing.
We have started land reform. For the first time, tens upon tens of thousands of acres of good flat land are moving to the small farmers at last. And we have said to the small farmer, we have said, you who took to the hills to escape from slavery and who have been condemned by capitalism and to the hillside land for 120 years. We have said, come down off that hillside now and enter into your patrimony upon the flat lands of your nation. We have started to organize cooperatives. Human beings that used to be grass weeders are now the owners and controllers of the lands and the production where they used to labor alone. Glory to socialism.
They used to labor alone. Them take it back. One man take what 2,000 acres of farmland. People them lose the whole of this under their foot. You see me I talk about? Them not come build up on these things.
The children that were born out of wedlock matter not whether they were part of a stable home, matter not anything, were inferior under the law.
Inferior under the
and
law.
at one stroke, We have created one of the most fundamental changes in the condition of the Jamaican people by the Status of Children Act, which says that every child that is born to this nation shall be equal in the sight of God, in the sight of man, in the sight of woman, and in the sight of posterity. And comrades, when you look at the things we have done, you ask yourself, why does the clique hate us so? Why do they fight us so? So first of all, let me remind you who the clique is. I'm going to tell you who the clique is. The clique are the controllers of capital who resist change. The clique are the beneficiaries of imperialism who resist change. The clique are the developers who abscond with the people's money and take up residence abroad, skulking away like thieves in the night, leaving citizens to suffer behind them. Those are the clique. And the ones that stole the money of the poor people with their houses, they lie about in Miami, loll about in Toronto, and they dream of the day when we will be defeated so they can come back to scalp the people some more. But let the word go to them in Toronto, those who stole the people's money, and let it go to them in Miami, that they will never live to see that day. They will never live to see that day.
Them thief the money, that me I tell you. So who run up the rich, them no want, them just trample over, take land, get to the poor, come off a deal, sit down there, do this, do that. And at this, them sell out, and then I go around with them propaganda and chat bag of foolishness. Go, just draw up the history there. Cause everything that kept documented, you know. After much years, them are release it, and then you realize the foolishness what them I tell you. Me not for the parties, them are shit. Yeah, not me and Manley Heights. Them are shit. Me and Marcus Garvey Heights too. Saying and Martin Luther King Heights and Mandela Heights. Saying, you understand? Me no want you. Let me tell you this. Anything about destroy Jamaica, me no want to hear them.
And one day, the laws of the world may be such. One day, the laws of the world may be such that people who committed economic crimes in Jamaica, who stole poor people's money for houses, who went away with that money like thieves in the night, and who now take the sweat and the labor of the Jamaican people to enjoy themselves abroad, let them beware. One day the laws of the world may be such that the hand of justice will reach out from Jamaica and snatch them back to come to trial at home.
Right now, them government will be a thief, them even worse now. You gonna go arrest them worse because the people, them not get it. You understand? Them just throw thing and love party and take the brainwashing and thing. Me not go have a brainwashing thing, do no one stuff.
But comrades, the clique is not, and I want you to be clear about this, the clique is not the businessman who has built an honest business, who has produced,
Not that.
who has helped his workers cooperatively, who look forward with the attitude, how can I adapt and change to meet the goals of democratic socialism? Those people are not the clique. And we are proud of them. We welcome them. And we look forward to cooperating with them in the building of the Jamaica of the future. The clique is not the developer who cares for the rights of his client. and who builds a genuine home for that client, and who now says, how can I cooperate and adapt my methods to meet the new goals of the nation? That man is not the clique. And we welcome that man and look forward to his help in the building of the Jamaica of the future. But the clique are there. And they are spending their money like wine. And how have the clique operated and why do they operate? The clique operates, first of all, because they realize that this government would not accept a Jamaica that was controlled in the interest of a minority. And that we were going to build a Jamaica that was controlled by the majority of the people.
Well, the Jamaica weather bill, it gone back now to the minority right now. Foreign investment, them come and them get up. Not even the beach you can go again. Oh, you have a land where you can't go, your beach can't sell to no hotel or nothing. And your river, you're not supposed to pay going at these things. The whole of these things gone. These are my problem. Yeah? Me tell them are my problem. So when you have some little hungry belly people go around and chat them foolishness, me not have no time for them. You understand? We think out of the box. Then me live through this. You understand? Me no listen. You know, come with something better than this. No, but you can't come talk. You have to put things in action too. You understand? Me no know the chatting with them. I tell about road and water. The one of them for go to prison.
Secondly, they are up in arms because when they realize that our system of taxes was forcing them to pay for the upkeep of the nation for the first time, the ones would use the income tax dodging arrangement and suddenly realized that they were going to have to pay taxes. They became angry. And they became angry when they looked at land reform and saw that we would no longer allow private people to decide whether land was to be held idle or to be used, and that we were not begging, but that we were using the force of law and the sovereign power of the people to put that land to work and put it into the hands of those that needed to work it and would work it. And when they saw the sugar worker control begin on the cooperatives, the clique finally said, no, they will not accept that. And so they took their stand and decided to fight us. And what has the clique really done? It has taken possession of its economic fortress, built upon the foundations of capitalism, surrounded by the moat of economic imperialism, and guarded by the light and heavy artillery of those sections of the press and media that they control.
Yeah, the media, sir. When it's a long time, them control media, though. Can't control it.
And from that fortress of privilege, they have proceeded to their strategy.
Reality that, yeah? That me are telling about. Either one you know, because this is what me are telling you. When me meditate, and when we go through the thing, I will live through the thing. So when I ask somebody about the thing, and I like me and my mother and father to sit down and discuss something, now I live through it. Saying, them can't trick me, can't go in my head, and me just keep it straight. You understand? None of them, where you take back certain little things and people that hold up some things, the whole of them right now just pay a criminal and all kind of things me I look on right now. Not for the small man, with that gone. Everything gone. Can you imagine you buy a plyboard, one sheet of plyboard, 4x8, 8x4, saying around 8,000, some place or 10,000, we used to get for $2,000 the other day. The money, the value, everything, steel, cement, everything, sand, everything gone, bus fare, everything. And you still Uno love the poor, and I try to move the poor, try to move them forward. You know, evil man.
My friends, I'm going to wind up now. Winding up now. Let me tell you how I wind up now. Socialism has got to be built. We have to build it like a house. It can't be handed down. So who come into socialism for a handout? No.
That's why you see some people just go on here, build things. Build it, come together and build it. You know, look for your handout. So you see politicians come with them handout, that's why the man go to the country say, no, build things.
Not so. It have to be built. And it need, everybody want to work. Everybody must have love. Everybody must have discipline. We must keep our cities clean. No socialist would ever drop a piece of dirt or litter in the streets, because the socialist would remember the one coming behind. All the people with a capitalistic mentality would ever get in the streets, who have love, who have justice, who have concern. Keep your city clean. Make I tell you what the party must do. The party, our party is open to all.
You're not open to some and you paint a place and go like them and get them open to all. Because that's what a party is supposed to do. You want more people and you want the thing better off and thing, you don't want to upset some other people. That with these things, you know, them not do that, you know, like, oh, no give me that chat. Me and this and me and that. No, me and Jamaica.
Our party must be first in discipline.
Discipline.
Our party must be first in work. Our party must be first in sacrifice. Our party must be first in study. You must study. If you're a socialist, you must study. You must study. That's why we start all the great programs, literacy, so that we can bring knowledge. True knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. I mean, notice you have some people still, that's why we're open back Jamal for them, you know. Jamal University and things. Jamal Kindergarten, like the one that chat to me this morning. Jamal Kindergarten, like I said, you know. Same, and then, you know, you have Jamal grade 1 and 2 and come right up. Same way, and we have Jamal. Yeah, man, we have to do some Jamal for them, because them tough man, like you have to put, you know, no care what you do, them not gain no knowledge. Them no knowledge, just sense, common sense. Them not have that. See? Bad for them.
You must read. Them have a book called Manley and the New Jamaican. One should find a way to read it. My own little book I write for you is you I write it for. Politics of Change is you I write it for. To give you wisdom and understanding. Read it. Make group bite and somebody read it and we'll discuss it, because you must be first in study. Knowledge is power. My last word is for the role of leadership. First of all, the leadership of socialism must walk in humility. Humility. Must be humble. Must be humble. Must always be humble. There is no place for arrogance in the party that I lead. And anybody that is arrogant over the people must get out of leadership.
No, you tell me now. When me talk, PMP, I be arrogant I go on the PMP right now too, you know. You know the same party man they used to lead. And the JLP worse. Because I say Mackenzie I talk to people like some dog him I talk to. And when I talk to people like I threaten people. Can't have arrogance over people. You see, man they talk to people and interact with people and talk to them and tell them what they do. Them not have no plan, no shape, no farm, not all right, no, nothing. Sell out everything where people supposed to own, we're supposed to say, yeah, we depend on own and we stand up. In the world, we can't stand up. But if you beg everything, them come with vaccination, them spoil. By them touch them, it spoil in a couple of days time, so if you go take it. Anything them catch are rotten food, everything them catch. As some look like jablat, sitting. You understand, like Jamaica is a dump. Eh? Through this nasty and then pay themselves a bag of things. Your man there tell them drive simple car and wear simple clothes. Them take our money and buy big things to themselves. When them want to vote, you see them. But after them do that, them have a bag of police like be a more thing around them like them and the people I work for. We in a nuclear country.
First of all, the leadership of socialism must walk in humility. Humility. Must be humble. Must be humble. Must always be humble. There is no place for arrogance in the party that I lead. And anybody that is arrogant over the people must get out of leadership. The only one that is fit to lead is the one that walks hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, equal with the people, loving with the people.
I love it.
That's why I don't want no big flashy motor car. I don't want nobody in my party go with flashy clothes. I dress simple, and I drive in a simple little car.
Go look what them a drive now, how them dress. You understand? Somebody want to uplift the place and check how much money him thief and how much big house him bill and how much thing him have when him dead. See? You just check it. If it's a man for the people, them are what? See? That's why I listen, Manley. Can you look through the whole background of the whole thing and them thing? Make you look on them. None of them here. None! You have all man borrow money and say him forgot him $31 million enchanted garden. Him forgot say him not pay it back. Him forgot say him borrow 31 million. Can you imagine what billion him sit on pan? Eh?
And that is fit to lead is the one that walks hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, equal with the people, loving with the people. That's why I don't want no big flashy motor car. I don't want nobody in my party go with flashy clothes. I dress simple. And I drive in a simple little car. I'm driving a simple little car. Because we must walk with the people. The day we think we're bigger than the people, we have no business to lead. Socialism walks in humility with the people.
Them now walk with humility with nobody right now, none at all. Them talk down to you like you're not nobody. This is what me I ask because I'm not used to that, you know. Me I watch this, I build up them, say let them do anything with them want to and talk to you. Hey, let me tell you this. When you can't do this, I remember the police are come down like a slave when I talk to. But when I voting time, when I run out in the colors, when I eat that, take back on the country.
If you're a socialist, you must have love and concern. And if you're a leader, you must stay close to the people. I said to the leaders of socialism, stay close to the people. When the people are worried and unhappy, don't run away from them. Stay close like a shepherd. Give them love. Give them care. That is socialism. The leader in socialism must know so that he can explain. He must understand so that he can lead. He must inspire by example. And above all, he must have integrity. Integrity.
Tell me one of them right now. What? Just point out one of them with integrity right now. Right now. Them name come up in all kind of little things and them go on and take people for that. None of them. Me not listen to them. But honorable, dishonorable.
Integrity. Integrity. Only honesty can lead the people in socialism. Therefore, my comrades, let us build together. And I call upon you now, in the name of the Father, in the name of God, in the name of Allah, in the name of Jehovah, in the name of Jah, to sing with me our hymn that we are singing now. I give you the words that you must sing. Onward, Christian socialists, marching us to war with the cross of Jesus going on before. Onward, set me, onward, Christian socialists, marching us to war with the cross of Jesus going on before. Sing to the glory of God.
Me show you now. So these are this what we are talking about. See? You know I find this again, nobody not talk to you, so. You understand? Nobody not talk to you and do them thing again.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. For Joshua is alive, and the lion will devour you. You're wrong, the trouble Joshua. You're wrong. Sing it up, sing it up, sing it up. You're wrong, the trouble Joshua. You're wrong. You're wrong, the trouble Joshua. You're wrong. For wrong, which are
Lonesome, behave yourself. Teach them something, man. This is I tell you, so you want to meditate, man, and go and study the truth. So who did good for Jamaica? See where the land them gone back. One man come now and say him own much 1,000 acre. Him money alone, them are couldn't give him that. The whole of them when them going at this thing and all politics right now, and a little simple car them a drive again. Look at them house and the land and the amount of gas station and them have all hotel. The amount of apartments, the whole of them rich. So them not think about nobody again. Them not have no respect for the people. Them chat to the people them like and I'm nothing. You see no police pay disrespect and all kind of foolishness. We no use to it that way there. Enough of them. Whether you are GLP, PMP or no P, enough of them benefit from the education system and enough things where Joshua come put in. I go straight up in university, I do hear the one of them come flip up. And I trick the people them because by the way, I'm tell you nothing. When I say when I leave right on PMP, go check them. Most of them are cousin and in-laws. And we can start call out some of them. Them are cousin, in-laws and them are friend, good friend. The one of them. If you listen to your interview, you hear him say him and Peter Philip, you know him bought the house and it hurt him because him and Michael and him could and them pick him must go see him school and everything and you know like them a family and everything. The whole of them is friend. Who don't know that? So you hear some little hungry belly people come and say, boy, I this and that when I can't eat that. When you see the country go back where for you say no for hold them accountable. Anybody, your family, the government will hold them accountable for these things. Saying, only not do that. Saying, them want deflection and deflect from something and come with some foolishness. Me not leave off a track. The media houses were supposed to hold them accountable, not doing it. Because them not them pocket. Saying, so me as a man we just come out and we chat fearless and chat the truth. Where I said, Daniel, you're up. Jane, Trish, big up yourself. You understand? We not busy to talk the truth. Go look for Michael and look where him own when him did and how much 1,000 a year can him have a when thief upon them thing. Now look for another prime ministers and look for another ministers when them on. Just go look through it. You understand? I said me a Manley Heights man, me good. Me a Marcus Garvey Heights too good. Saying Mandela, Martin Luther. Saying me good. You understand? Me no listen crap. Them people are standing up front of me and I talk about them and honorable this and that. When you look at talk to people on the ground, where you hear say, who them use t-shirt gun to, where them used to do and them things, but you take them for politician now and you put them and I call them minister. Or you call them minister? With them the kind of background there. In our country, where the country I go. If they can't talk about you get rid of criminal, but you not put in criminal as the head. I wanna go with that. Eh? You can't find people decent for vote for putting a power man. Eh? Criminal. And I like, them are criminal, them just touch something so you know, but them mix up. You say people dead, people get beat up and all kind of things. Just so win vote. You have guy now where when you look on him, he might paint where people are dead. And he might paint up color and all kind of things. Them say pay attention. First time win. You should have tried, you know, I put the place together. Pay foolishness you do too. The one named Williams in a central Kingston. And then you have a minister back, it said, I know nothing. The color I know nothing boom by you. No! Can you know say one bag of things that go on. See? In the community. And I don't know how and why you don't get a position like that where the same force investigates you and know say okay. And when you look here up in a WikiLeaks. And I turn the head. The head! Agiada. Eh? No man, this is a foolishness man. The voters say no, but you why not Trish, you are no. You see, this are the thing, you know, because enough people not do them research and we go up through the whole of this, see? But enough people not do them research and just see them mother say something and sometimes their mother can't even read. They never go through this. Them ears see them go by. Them not go by like facts. Them not do facts check or do nothing at all. So them go by yes, a man say, boy, oh my God, man, the wickedest thing, you know. I man make us starve and this and that and boom bam bam and you know understand. Yeah, the man that talk about the forces and them stand up to capitalism. Who do that? You know, for you know, say Andrew and go fin up Israel, the first prime minister for God Israel. So if me in my country me say you have two nations And Israel like 49, Britain farm them out this and boom bam bam in Palestine and cut out a piece of thing and say I own this. Cause them that run the world. See? And say right, go and run this boom bam bam and then you have Palestine and then when you look now, kids are get bam and thing. Boy, me as a prime minister I say boy myself for your soldier and when you go through. When a man this I talk about free up myself. And I'm even for your missile, you gotta take down much building with baby and everything in it. And crush them, and then you have Jamaican Prime Minister run Ghana and that talk about we have things in a common and we want it to stop. You understand? Them take a time for stop the whole of that foolishness. See? Shouldn't even go there. You understand? No, the voters them because some of them so brainwashed and them never know them a vote for you know. They just know say, oh, your mother come and say, boy, yeah man, when me the hungry, you me get a little food and I save your life and that alone. Wow, and my father, everything boom bam bam. So them just vote. Whether green or orange, whether JLP or PMP, you just vote. Not for change and hold them accountable and change where you live. You just come out and vote because it's like a fashion thing. Like you go up on a boat and even if shark in the water from one jump off, everything I jump off because follow fashion post. Yeah. And so Jamaica run. So you're born in an area and from a man do so boom and them a vote for this. You have to go vote because and then make a organize their see me as a man, I just wanna be a watch. The world me study, a great man you have, And I don't know me might have born and go and get up but we don't have them kind of minds there. We watch how the whole world run. So I know so Jamaica could have run better off. Jamaica not coming like some cities. Enough cities, people in it. More than Jamaica. Just city. City. Me not talk about city. So you talk about New York, how much people in a New York City. Me not talk the whole state of New York. Because that's the next amount of people. Me not talk like 8 million or nearly 9 million. Jamaica 2.9 billion, not even 3 million people. See? So the city, like you talk about Brooklyn. Have the same amount of people like when in Jamaica. Brooklyn, me not talk about Manhattan and Bronx now and Queens or nothing like that upstate New York or the whole New York. Me not talk about that. Me talk like Toronto, same amount of people. A little more, me just got the same amount. See? You understand? You talk about London, more than that. So when you check out the city, them eat have more than that. And if you see that run, Jamaica can run. You understand? But we have too much thief. But we are voting. We don't really respond to you neither. Any man, let me tell you this. If a man honestly himself who don't come and buy a vote, he won't even try for bribe you. For me, I've dirty thinking politician and bribe you. So them not good. And them not mean you not good. And if you have a law for send them a prison for that too, man. You understand? Yeah, man. Yeah, Trish. Yeah, man. You see me I say? If you have a law for send for you see a man come and bribe you. Same like if you see a police and bribe him, you could carry in front of court and lock up. Politicians bribe them to go to prison. Them should not run them to get barred. You understand? You want to see them resume. What you not do before when you go into this? Well, me say Andrew said 2,000. Him couldn't find $1,000. But by 2007, 2008, by 2000 something, you can buy any big house and have all kind of things all over the place. And then them build up what them want to build up and tell we when we do research it no match. But then I'm alone. Both sides, me look at some other people are the same thing. See? Some man just go and build them house, them pay cannot give them that. But who are on this thing, you can't investigate them, so you have to load them and them get for wash money and we look them and make millions. When they come out of this, them value much million. And the people, them must starve and a whole back. You understand? And like we have new, just look on the hospital and look on the building. They're not even clinic or some place for it. You can't use them for clinic, man. See? And then put pay red tape. I remember the red tape are for poor people. And enough of them are run up and down and talk because true, they might live and eat the chicken back and eat the rice and them things. They never, most of them not fly out for carrying something and know how much red tape they there. Enough of them, certain things they not got through. So them don't know the red tape, them not see. Them just live and so I'm on the pass and get 5 bills and that big and you big him up. But if you ever know the red tape, if you just come in, when you send a barrel for somebody and them got paid, that them never think about it. Sometimes I bet if you send a barrel of food, I better give the people in the money make them buy food. Because if you send a user I'd say a 3 bills, 4 bills now, a 5 bills for a barrel, a jumbo barrel or something, and then spend $100 and sell it off. And then you have to spend the money again to clear it. You think about that. If you have spend like $700 on a barrel, give them the $700 weight value. Weight value now. You $700, it can push over 100,000. So if you can push some rice in it, and sometimes you send barrel, they send great things in it in Jamaica. So, you know, instead of you do that, what you do now, you give them the money there. And say buy a bag of rice, a bag of flour, a bag of sugar, and bag of, buy the main item. Corn meal were good for you. Because you have to mix it with the flour. You know why? Because the man them flour, the staple thing, them rice and thing. So you buy that, enough food that, 100 pound, 110 pound and them thing there. You know so much thing I wouldn't have barrel. And then you can buy a little soap and thing. They still have a little money left. Instead of give them a barrel, just give them the money. Work out cheap and cut out the fee, the money where you have to clear the barrel and sell it. You pay like 30 and 40,000. That could have buy a lot of food. You don't even have to give them so much money. Just a good look at knowledge about something, you know. See, now they say I send clothes in a barrel and anything. But if I does food barrel, give them the money, make them buy the food. And people, Jamaican people don't respect people in the diaspora too, yeah? Because who make going to suffer when I have no plane again, you know. We're proud of here, Jamaica. They proud of the place. We have ferry. Go across the water, we have train. You want to about put on this, we should have expand. If you have a country where you say you do all kind of services and you see it now expand them where to go. Eh? And everything what them do is a bag of money. I bet you just send me an app, boy, you forgot scan, them develop the app for $2.5 million. Bobby, where name? Robert Montague again. Eh? $2.5 million for do an app. If you do app for 1 hour, you sit down and do them app and do 1 hour. But scanning app and them thing there. And they tell you about this and that and about how much money and all. Be a friend and be a sitting you know. That can't keep you safe, you know. Because you talk about put by your phone, that means you have to have one of them kind of thing, the phone. What happen to the people them when I have the phone, where the app where you use the app for. And then you put your app and scan a license plate for the world. But that's what I do. But they don't have the time for that. You think you have to take out them. Number one, you can't take out the phone downtown, so you can take a taxi, so you scan it. Maybe you do so, if I want them their phone, an iPhone, them and them, but you do so and take it out, zoom, it gone, beat them and beat you up. That app, it make people hurt you more than anything else. Because them don't have no sense, you know. Because you have a lot of robbers and them things. So it don't even make no sense. And we can't go in enough more things where I tell you say it don't make no sense. Because them nothing about that, you know. Them just come with something and tell you say this, I gotta keep you safe. You just scan this. In them head, you know, over a cutout robot. You know, I cut out robot neither. Because people rather take them robot and them know who them take. You know, I cut out that. And then I go sit down and just, people can just take out a phone and expose them phone. If you go behind a car, before me go in it and them scan your license plate. That makes sense? I have friend you want to give some money, man. If you want, if people want to mark you, if you have smartphone, and you want people to mark you, just turn on the position on your phone. So the people, them just find boom bam bam and them tell you, you call when you're going in a taxi, it's simple, yeah? So you call. If you're mad at your husband or who, when we go in a cab, the number boom bam 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 bam, we are cab and we come up a papi now. Yeah, we're going to leave off at the stand now. You put it up on speaker so them here talk to somebody. So if you alone and think them, I know, say, okay, they just give me the description and everything. I'm not trying nothing. That's the more safe and better way, yeah? You're going to a taxi, if you mark a red plate, because man can't take you the same way. I'll do a red plate. See? So if you're going to just call somebody, put it on an open line, whether your father or you're going to cabby, him number, him license plate, boom boom, for me, say that. You just take it off and tell him. Oh, that's why I don't know number. I'm license plate, boom boom. I come up that. No, very safe. So the money when them say them I pay for this. I tell you, so them have no idea, just money them just want to grab. When it makes sense. And when it makes sense, I got to tell you the side that make sense. Same, but you come with up and how much money develop with and bag of foolishness. None of them no come with no initiative and no reform for uplift the citizens of Jamaica. None. The life of the citizens of Jamaica. I change the life of the citizens of Jamaica. None. Don't tell me no housing trust. I'm they come with that too. See? I'm say one bag of people, money they are ready and people are build place. And when you look, see them want to shut down some place where them do 2 KCC and what have you and give man, if him build 12, him build much more apartment than that and him go up more and do one. See money around. You understand? Me not tell no quotes if I broke it down because you want new houses. So we not gonna do that because you have a time if the place get for the place when the place turn out 6 million and thing you have to build up. So we not gonna tell a man to boom bam about block down. That's a foolishness too, yeah. So we not tell them about block down the building. The boardhouse one but have more building that when storm blow, we not have it that blow. But we want them cheaper that people can live and move the zinc fence. And we want to see recreation centers. I want to see play field and things for the kids them. You see me I say? The whole of that we want to see. We want to see the people them get back the land. The whole of them flat land are gone from the same people them a man they give them. I say come out of the hills, sell on here, farm it, do or not do. You see the whole of that gone. And I run behind them looking at see boring either criminal politician here. See? I some punk them. You understand me and them can't be friends. You know notice me not itch up around them and them thing. Them can't itch up around me neither. Me none of them. And me talk straight. So me no hide my face and come at me just come chat straight. Me none of them. Them mash up Jamaica. Them wreck it. And them still a bleed it out. Right now, the amount of money we buy from China go right back because we loan with debt. Me know it's more than 300 million them a pay with debt with taxes and all kind of things. 300 billion. Billion with a B. You can go check it, man. They must pay a lot of money with a debt, you know. Service debt and everything, you know. So when you do some boom 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 and you draw your fiscal year and them draw for them things, you know, the amount of money out of that in a debt. Them budget. It's unbelievable for service debt. Meanwhile, people are dead for hungry. You can't even buy goat meat every damn goat. I'm gonna take 85 million and I say, you know, if you eat healthy. You eat healthy when you don't have no food to eat in the first place. And nobody know about him. I don't care what the man do. And I like somebody else say step it down. You have a prime minister, back them. Eh? And you take the whole way I eat that because I forgot at university because when we go up there we have sense. Them up at university, none of them now have no sense neither. Educated fools them. Them won't go sensible on paper. Claim to them sensible on paper. You understand? So we not follow them up there. You understand? Because them not come with nothing where you see me I say? They don't come with nothing where move man. Them not spend money on nothing at all. If they spend money on this at all, let me tell you this. Me want to carry a program you know in the night after this when I have to talk up for them people here. See? So this is what I can tell you about. This is what I can tell you. And before I shut off with this, let me shut off with this. Farrakhan, shut off with this, see me there. This me I shut off with you now. But if I play about this before, I shut off with this. Come on, come in the next program a little later. You know, hear this?
Even down in Jamaica, I'm skipping. They tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Micheal Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Micheal Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
Play it back again because enough people don't even know that, eh?
Even down in Jamaica, I'm skipping. They tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Micheal Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Micheal Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
All right. Listen. That's what I say. Do the study, you know, man. And all right. Me say me like sign off with that. Let me just sign off with what Manley say so. Me show you the man how the man say the thing needs. See? I am man there. I don't business with some guy. See? Let me show you something I know. Alright. Look who you a man there say right so. Just hear what I tell you about now. Just hear what the man I tell you about. Yeah.
Is very, very fundamental to us. It's a non-negotiable item on our agenda. We start from certain positions of principle. 1. Cuba is our nearest neighbor. 2. Cuba is a member of the third world like us. 3. Cuba fights at our side for changes in the world economic system.
Changing in the world economic system. Another to Jamaica. The money are really leader, you know. A little country like that. Farrakhan come to now a serious thing. See?
4. We find Cuba the most principled country to deal with. They operate on a basis of respect for sovereignty and non-interference in other people's internal affairs.
Here, internal people affair, non-interference. Here, that no adjust them like Maca here.
They have an internationalist policy that if you say to them, come and be my friend, we think you have certain skills that are interesting. We think you've done certain things that are interesting. We would like to have a look at what you've done. Would you like to cooperate with us in a field? They say, fine. If you don't want to cooperate, they say, fine. We have long since understood that they are on a particular path of development that is obviously massively supported by their people and which is a product of their objective circumstances. Their revolution arose out of the horrors of one of the worst tyrannies the world had ever known. And a lot of their experience is conditioned by that fact.
Yeah, reality.
We are a totally different thing. We had a different kind of society, different traditions. We had a functioning plural democracy. And we're on what we call our democratic socialist path of development, which has certain points of similarity with theirs, but very substantial points of difference with theirs, and we respect each other. But even more important than all of that, and this is what is non-negotiable to us, Cuba is a legitimate part of the world and this hemisphere. And it has one of the most legitimate governments in the world because legitimacy is a function of popular support and nothing else. Nothing else legitimizes except people. And no country, in our view, no country has the right to impose sanctions upon Cuba or any other country that has legitimacy.
No country. Usman, in a third world country, I said no country have the right to impose them sanction and them thing. Usman I said that. International speak.
Therefore, it is non-negotiable that Cuba must be accepted as a full, free, and untrammeled member of the world community and the hemispheric community. And if that is not so, we can't make it so. I don't say this in arrogance. I don't know what we stand for, not what we can make happen. But what we stand for, we will not move over and we'll pay any price for. And, you know, looking at it from a practical point of view, you could say this. If you can do that to Cuba because somebody doesn't like the Cuban Revolution, then how do I know that you don't do that to me tomorrow? That you don't like something that I do?
True.
Would you say then that this is a reason why you are dissatisfied with the absence of sanctions against South Africa while there are sanctions against Cuba?
It does not. Well, I'm not an easy person to embitter, but that makes me as near to bitter as anything in the contemporary world. It's something that I said in Maputo, actually, at a conference to which I was invited this year, that it really is a tragic commentary on human values in the world, that there are still sanctions against this really very brave and brilliant social and human experiment which is taking place in Cuba. Even if you don't agree with the methodology, it's a remarkable experiment. And you can leave sanctions against that country and apply not one sanction, well, they're now talking about an arms embargo, but not one economic sanction against the ultimate leper of the international community, South Africa.
You hear that though? You hear that though? You hear? Eh? So the man has stand up on an international level. And I just touch Jamaica and poor people right across. Third world, I want to take the third world and stand up for them. And you can't part I don't that deal with black people, wicked. And them stand up, and stand up for them too. That's why Mandela come and say respect to Mandela. Mandela Heights man because them stand up for him people, them to Mandela. You see? And Winnie and them people the same. And Martin Luther King, you know, and them play the ultimate sacrifice. But him make you still can't move because I'm tell you this, them that say segregation now and forever. Martin Luther have a young family. That's what I talk about when I talk about real hero. I look for real hero. Martin Luther have a young family. Young family. 1968 them assassinate him. Say we shall overcome him, they have business. Them they let your dog upon him, them kill some rubber bullet, them everything. And him dead there and him and others like him stand up. Forefront. They say Martin Luther King Day. After them do the 1 million man march, say shake them up in on them. He might get too big. I forget 3 times and them come tell them lie. See? But that change the face enough things. See? Some man study these kind of history and all kind of little things. We study it. Study it. See? Your man they say, if you love read man, because knowledge is power. See? Me not listen to the crapper. And when them go on and me do this, me fix the road. Hey, want to go you know. Because the truth is, if you have a government, you have road, it will fix. Hospital, fair run proper. The whole of them things, light, water, these things, and things you put in a place where you come with otherwise to really uplift the people them and them life. My road now fix the place, but pop down there. People, when we talk about zip line, I'm going to talk about this and for the next show. But this, can you imagine this? Got down over three months now. Look on this. 3 months. I talk about it for me other show still, you know. But me don't show you something. Look here. Look here.
Some men with some money and power, you know, like even the Prime Minister and stuff were asking him to do something for us, you know, because we don't have to go block the road, innit?
Black Road, look there.
Practically the borderline between Manchester and Trelawney. The bridge is what separates Manchester from Trelawney.
What's the name of the bridge?
I don't exactly know, you know, but it's a very old bridge, and it was built in 1830 something, and it never even have steel in it, so it wasn't really built to carry trucks and cars. It was in those days it was horse and buggies. You understand? So the other day it broke down about 3 months ago, right? About 3 months ago, now it broke down. More than 3 months, and our biggest concern, you have a lot of people who are hampered by this.
You say it's breakdown. Tell me what happened.
Well, it's just collapsed. A lucky thing no one was on it, you know, right after a big truck passed over.
Water.
Yeah, water been soaking underneath the foundation.
And
so
the foot of the bridge out.
And it wasn't built with any steel or nothing like that. You understand? So I'm mostly concerned about like the people who have to go to work. There's teachers, students. There's 3 schools out there, but I tried primary, basic school, and high school. You know, so the students them are. They are very fearful of crossing. Their parents won't allow them. So, and then you have a lot of people going to the market even early in the morning, and sometimes the river is coming down. You understand? And they still have to cross. Right now, there's only some debris that the river carried down that the people have to use for crossover, like a tree branch and some bamboo. It's very dangerous.
That is what people are using to cross.
Yes, bamboo and a little tree branch.
So what happens when the river comes down?
Well, when it comes down, we have to ease back a bit. You know. Those who get trapped in Troy have to sleep over there. You know, and those who want to go there have to stay over here. You know. So.
Are there any other routes to the community?
No. If you want to, the other route is just Mile Gully, which is a lot of ways, a lot of miles. You know, Mile Gully, and then you have to go Craig and then. You know, so it's a big.
Christmas is days away.
Yeah.
How does the breakdown of the bridge? Will it affect the unit?
Oh yes, it affects us a lot because even when we have funerals and all that, if we want to bury over there, we can. You know? So it's a big problem right now. The taxi services are hampered by this, you know, So a lot of people are finding it a little bit difficult, you know. But we're just praying and hoping that the government will do something as quickly as possible, you know.
Praying and hoping.
Like the school season is coming back in, right? So that's one of the main things. Yeah.
Any work I've started on it since?
We're only hearing rumors that they're probably going to start some temporary bridge in January, but that's just a bag of rumors, you know. We're not seeing nothing, no solid foundation put down or no relevant.
Because people them have to live, man.
Come true, you know.
Them job man cross it to you, though.
What you call them MPs and things. You know, we need some men with some money and power, you know, like even the Prime Minister himself, we're asking him if he could do something for us, you know, because we don't have to go block the road, innit? We're not threatening nobody.
Who's a member of parliament for the year?
Who's a member of parliament here again? Who's a member of parliament here? No? It's Mr. Peter Phillips' son. I mean, I'm not a politician, you know, I don't vote for none of them, so I don't know. You know. But none of them seems to be doing anything solid, you know.
You hear that though? So you have something about done more than four months where people live there. And this show, you know, so if a Peter Phillips' son I remember a parliament, that's right not fix. Can I ask you, that's right not fix. When you don't vote in a local government election, every one of them run come now and come across the bridge, make sure they run them. None of them don't vote. None. Can they come for a vote? None of them. Can't we supposed to have councillors there and them things. So if it's a Labour government and it's a PMP area and it broke down, it's not about a fix. Be a foolish system thing here, yeah? This is what people have got through. This is one the government fair on this. Because Imongo can make representation. But at the council, if and the council bridge, at the government can deal with that, and you know them supposed to see that and know it broke down. And hear about it already and send already and know so we can't make the people them see if they have a big flood or something. Them doom to go to hospital or something. A little zip thing they can pop down in the time. See? That may I try to show Jamaica go back there. A bridge built 1930 30 that are nearly 200 years. Because with the 20 nearly 2022 now. Say if we said 30 and the next 8 years. See? So that'd be 192. And if it's a 35, you understand? That if it's a 35, that's what 8 and that are 13 years. You see? So the bridge would be like 187 years old. See? So if it's a 1835, yeah, the bridge would be like that. So and maybe it's older than that. Maybe a 200 years old. See? And them supposed to have people check out this and know say and check out the structure long time. Them not busy about people. I'm telling you already. Get real. The infrastructure. Remember me I talk about the infrastructure, say them all? Just watch me. The whole of them know where you say some old thing. Them just have the money and then now fix road and load, them make a budget for it and them take it. Them take it, them a send it out of the country. The money not there. Them bank out of the country. It's like them a drain way. And una run behind them. Start read. Like a man they say, read. Start read and hold them accountable. Get real. They are in a lonesome. Keep them real here. Keep them honest. Be a fire me a fling pan them. Ramp with them. Lonesome.